Hello and welcome back to Content Junkeez, your home for all things content creation. I'm your host, Austin Alvarez, joined by our co-host, Robert Condell. Robert, today's guest is actually, it's a fun one because we both had this guest as a client of ours and still, I think, do at the moment. But we have Mr. Brandon Johnson, a.k.a. Brandon from Vegas here.
Client and friend.
I would say friend over client for sure.
Oh, okay, there you go.
I have called both of you drunk and or high, so that means we are friends.
I think I've gotten high with you.
Yeah,
We've gotten high with that fantasy football draft. We were up front, and then I think you brought Cane's or Chick-fil-A.
I 100% brought
You brought food.
Yeah, I think I brought like $150 worth of Cane's chicken
Yeah,
nuggets
so for Georgia's show Gridiron Junkies, we like the regular NFL draft, we do a draft here for fantasy. But everybody's here. Like we had both rooms running, and so everybody had to announce their pick. So we were all fucked up and all just eating, but it's like the second one was like the best one, but it's hilarious.
You know what I love about this hybrid version of business nowadays is professionalism just goes out the door.
Yes, I love that.
Because it's about,
It's like,
do I like you?
You don't know if like the person walking in is just some jabroni off the street or he's like the next billionaire crypto guy.
It's the best thing in the whole world.
Yeah,
dude.
and then you get high with all of them, and you're like, we're just
like,
all in the same astro
Oh
plane
shit,
right now.
you guys, you're actually a fucking awesome real estate agent. Like somebody asked me like, Brandon's a realtor? I'm like, yes, that's how he makes his money.
Bro, people think I for real get paid to eat food. Like, it's crazy. People think that's my job, bro. That shit cracks me up.
The lines are blurred and I love it. Dude.
Yeah, so
Yes.
I want to start this off with an initial question, and then we're really going to hammer home on our main topic for you. But what made you realize that as a real estate agent, you needed content?
Oh, easy. COVID.
Okay.
So imagine being someone who makes 100% of his living being in front of people's faces, knocking on doors, doing open houses. Just my personality, like you said earlier, like you touched on, I don't come off as professional. If you meet me, I could have a 30-minute conversation with you and you'll never hear what I do for a living. It's not something I talk about. I find that completely, it's the opposite of what they tell realtors to do. And so I'm in people's faces and then COVID happens and no one wants to see another human being. Where's my money go? Like, how do I make a living, right? Like, I'm freaking the hell out. How do I sell houses when no one wants to be in the same car with me, let alone let me into their home? Social media, dude. One day, client of mine's cousin or something, it's the craziest story. She hits me up and she's like, why don't you just start putting videos on TikTok? Like, when you show me houses, just film it and put it on TikTok. I said, no adults who buy houses look at TikTok. She goes,
This is when TikToks were like, it was like dancing.
Fresh off of music.
And like young kids were on it, right?
100%. And that's what I thought. I'm like, bro, that's where kids go to dance and like, it's like Vine. Like no one's buying houses. She goes, well, I'd buy a house off TikTok. I said, girl, you're buying an $800,000 house. She goes, and if I find a good one on TikTok, I'm gonna buy it.
Wow.
I said, well, girl, if there's money like that on TikTok, say less.
Wow.
So this is a true story. It's a goddamn true story. I'm filming a listing I had on Valley Verde. If you're in Vegas, it's like Green Valley. So like Valley Verde and like Horizon Ridge area, right?
Ooh.
And I've recorded the house, film it for my open house, and across the street is the butcher block where I get all my meat and steak from. So I was like, you know what? F it. I'm going to film me going to the butcher block, whatever. I take my camera out and I'm like, if you're buying your meats from Vaughn's or Albertsons, bro, you got to stop. And I flip the camera around. I show the butcher block. I show all the meats. Little did I know, I was creating a hook, right? At the time, I didn't know it was a hook. I was just kind of doing what came natural.
Being you.
Being me. Like, for real. And I woke up in the morning, and at that time, I had notifications on TikTok turned on. And I woke up to literally...
Can I ask you, did your phone freeze? Because that happened to me when one of my videos went viral. I literally had to turn my phone off.
You turn your phone off. Your phone starts freaking out because your notifications are going crazy. And your phones aren't prepared for how many people, like when a video goes viral, especially back then, your phone wasn't prepared for how many notifications were coming in. And my wife, fiance at the time, goes, who's texting you in the morning?
What's her name, huh?
You know? And I'm like, baby, I don't know. And I roll over and I thought the housing video had gone viral. I was like, yo, I'm about to go get rich. 595,000 people watched me shop at the butcher block overnight. And I'm
Holy crap.
I'm like, oh, y'all like food? That's when I realized I had to keep all my content on social media.
Yeah. So, I mean, but you've been a powerhouse. I mean, I got you as a client through TikTok.
Yeah.
I think I commented on one of your videos, and it just led to us continuously like talking through comments.
Yeah.
And then eventually, I think I reached out, and you were like, "Oh, well, I know I was looking at houses at the time," and you were like, "Oh yeah, get in touch with me," and that was it. But as being a power, like, because you're a whole machine now with content. Like, my girlfriend doesn't like your content because she's like, he's a misogynist. I'm like, no, that's the hook. It worked.
Ain't it ironic that I do?
He's
more
a nice guy.
I do more charities for single mothers in Vegas than goddamn FAFSA, and everybody thinks I'm the bad guy. I'll never get over that.
You're just real about it, and you're not even real about it because you're trying to put women down, and you don't put women down at all. It's just sometimes the truth is hard to hear. But so now you still continuously show houses. How much of your business is word of mouth of you just being a good realtor versus just you are just really just putting yourself out there on TikTok?
Now I do referral business is a large part of it now, but 2021 to 2022, and I tell realtors this and they don't believe me, 100% of my business came from social media. I did not meet a single person not off social media for like 2 years straight.
So all of your leads from real estate, from food, making food content, translates to them trying to buy a house for you. How does that work, dude?
Well,
how does that actually work?
The secret is
I'm still confused. I've asked you 3 times personally even. I'm like, how do people that watch the food stuff connect it for some reason to go, I'm going to buy a home from him because he likes freaking the butcher that does meat? Like, it still doesn't connect. How does that work?
When you love someone or when you like someone, don't you sit down and have a meal with them? You do that because you want to make sure that their tastes are in line with yours, right?
So it's all taste and likability?
It's 100%. Like, you only trust the people that you like. Imagine you were on a date with a girl and you took her, you didn't tell her in advance, but you took her to your like favorite spot. Maybe it was a food dish that made something that came from your childhood, right? And you sat down with her and she's eating your favorite food and she's like, it's fucking gross. You'd be like, oh, I like you a little bit less now, right? Like, you just discussed it at my childhood. We take food more seriously than we realize because there's a trust factor factored into sharing a favorite meal.
Okay, so back that up. You basically, and you said this in one of our other podcasts, you literally have turned trust equity into dollars.
100%. There's nothing more powerful in the whole world than
by making content, you were able to make trust equity from your audience. You built a community. They trust you. They love you. You've given them value. The value is, here's the restaurant I like.
Yep.
Here are a couple home buying tips scattered here and there.
Yep.
And then they are now literally 100% of your real estate business comes from your food videos.
Yes. Now I post houses too, but for a while I tell, man, you've seen me tell realtors this directly. There was a 6-month stretch where I did not post a single house on my TikTok page. Not one house was on my TikTok
I think
page.
I was helping you at that time. Where we were just posting like, you went to a G League game. Yeah. We went to this restaurant. And then I made like a YouTube video about a house that didn't do well.
So
and then you started talking about it and it went up.
How does that audience, how do you turn the audience?
It takes
how's that transition from, cool, here's a restaurant, you want to buy a house?
It takes a lot of patience and dedication. So I started doing a live real estate class every single morning for an hour a day. And when people first joined the live, they were just joining because they were like, oh, Brandon from Vegas, the food guy, is going live. Maybe he's eating something. And they'd see me sit there and go over real estate for an hour, and they'd be like, oh, this guy, he really does this shit.
Yeah.
You know?
You're like, I was lying?
What you're saying too is like, this is the power of personal brand.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Basically, they trust you because you've given them value with the food videos. And now you're going to like, which is a hard thing to do, to go, here's some real estate. Here's some real estate.
I don't care if I don't care what your business is. You could be selling people lawnmowers. You could be selling people technology like Apple. It doesn't matter. If you can create an emotional connection with your audience, it doesn't matter what the emotional connection is. When a pill company, a prescription company does a commercial, do they ever show you the pill? No, they show a dad swinging on the swing with his little girl. They're trying to get you an emotional connection to sell you the product, right? It doesn't matter if I'm emotionally connecting through a pill or food. Once you try my favorite restaurant, once you go to China Mama and you're like, God damn, this is good. Every time you go there,
Still haven't been, by the way.
come on, bro. Come on, bro. Every time you go to China, you know how many texts I get from strangers talking about, hey, Brandon, I just left China Mama. It really is bomb. Thank you. Nothing else. They don't tell me their name. They don't tell me nothing about themselves. But every time they go to China Mama, they think of me.
Yeah.
Right?
Let's touch on the emotional factor there, because if you think about traditional advertising, and if you let's just say like a beer commercial.
Yeah.
The product's there, but they're really selling the good times and
The
everyone having
experience.
the experience of the beer, right? They actually can't even drink it on TV.
No.
You know, they're not allowed to drink the beer and consume it. So it's always just like they're opening it, they're having the fun times.
Yeah.
The Corona commercial is just the beer and the lime and the view.
And Snoop
right?
Dogg on a beach.
Yes.
Cool people relax and drink our product.
So it's the experience and the emotion, right? So people have to. So because of our show, it's called Content Junkeez. The tip would be like have people respond emotionally. Would you say is safe to say? Like
Sure.
they have to connect to it.
We
The
are
content?
living in the time of the greatest content machine known to man. It's called trumping. How do you
Yes.
get yourself on every news channel at all times? You emotionally connect with people so hard, positive or negatively, that they can't ignore you.
Yes.
And I think there's a reason since 2016 you've seen so many podcasts. There's a reason you've seen content start to change. It's because the world woke up and they were like, wait a minute. All I have to do is say mean things to you people and you'll give me all the attention that I want.
Yeah, and people want either. It sucks because people either want the extreme views of they want the extreme
Bro, I
reaction.
get death
too.
threats if I give people the wrong taco spot. Tacos El Gordo is better and I will fucking kill you. It's like, bro, people.
Thanks for liking the video.
Thanks for liking the video. Thanks for
Yes.
thanks for the feedback.
I think people too, like, because you are also a business person and an entrepreneur, because you're a real estate agent, you don't want to say that you're a business person, but you are. You're in business of selling homes. Most business people are afraid to go extreme. So they stay right in the middle. And nothing is more boring for content or views or, just your personal brand as somebody who's just playing it safe.
They're coasting.
Sure.
Yeah. So like, can you give advice to somebody who's afraid to be themselves on camera or on video or on podcast?
Yeah, my advice is you got to let that fear go. You can lie to your audience for a day, for a video. Maybe you can lie to your audience for a month, 2 months. But after 6 months, after a year, you can't fake it that long, right? Eventually, people are going to see who you really are. If I tell you guys I'm out here working out, and every time you open up your camera, I'm fatter than before, right? Like, y'all know I'm lying, right? And so if you're going to hop on social media and dive into it, you have to be yourself. There's no other choice.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be on camera 3 times a day for the next who knows how long. You better be who you are, or not, your audience is going to see through it. And once you lose that trust capital we were talking about earlier, you're done. The second you lose that trust capital,
Yeah,
you're
the
done.
audience turns.
They turn on
Yeah.
you there's no getting it back. You get one shot at being someone that the audience.
It'll take a long time. Look at Papa John's.
Look at honestly, they had to hire Shaq.
They had to hire
do-
Shaq.
Shaq had to buy them to pretty much fix it, and it still really isn't fixed.
They probably gave Shaq a boatload of money because he has such a high Q score that no matter how bad your company looks prior, once you bring in Shaq, we're all like, yeah, you're not that bad.
That's my guy. I like it.
I think people too don't understand, whether they know it or not, that when an audience is looking at you and you do open up your camera and your lens to the internet, that you are now a brand to them. You're basically like you're a product, basically.
You are 100%. People don't. I'll tell you a quick little story. I'll try to keep it real short. I was in a client's house, right? We were trying to list their house. Nothing was going right. So I said, let me try to put your video on YouTube. Let me just make a quick YouTube video. I'll bring in Austin. We'll film it, whatever. So we filmed the house, and I'll never forget. I came in their house. They were sitting on their couch watching their house on YouTube. And they said, look, honey, we're on TV.
Yep.
And it clicked for me. I said, oh, y'all aren't watching this like, this is TV to you. This is real life to y'all. And it wasn't until then that I realized we're just TV characters in everybody's life.
It's the Truman Show.
Yeah, no one. It is
the real Truman Show.
No one sees me as Brandon Johnson.
No.
When you meet me, I'm whatever restaurant you last watched. Brandon, hey, China Mama. That's what I am. I'm the
Yeah.
TV character for
Yeah.
them.
Brandon,
it's
hey, women
crazy.
are houses.
It's weird that you say that because I do look at Instagram stories as like my favorite channel.
Yeah,
It's like the Austin show is on, and I want to watch it. Brandon's doing live today,
Yep.
and you follow. Like people are following people now. Right?
Yeah.
It's
Brandon
like,
has different, like, he even has different, like, when I know it's the bird filter of him flying, I'm like, oh, he's going to get real deep into something. Let me turn my volume on for this one.
Sure, because realtors think I'm crazy, by the way. Realtors think I'm crazy. They see my
Not to boost you, but you're outworking them though.
on social media. Yeah,
Yeah,
you can't outwork me on social media. You don't have what it takes. I'm just being real. That's why I feel comfortable telling realtors my secret. Hey, what's the secret to your success? I'll blueprint it for you.
Sure.
You can't copy it because you won't work it. How many realtors are willing to sit here for an hour a day, 5 days a week, 3 years straight, and just give out free information? I don't know any of them.
oh, dude, they'll
With
quit
no
after
promise of a return.
They'll quit after a month.
They'll quit after a month.
If they don't see a lead come in,
Sure.
I have clients that have quit after a month because they haven't seen.
They haven't seen one lead come in. I was sitting there doing live classes for 17 people for months.
Wow.
For months. But to me, I was like, if I can change 17 people's lives, great. You know what happened to those 17 people? They showed up every single day. And eventually TikTok was like, man, you're getting 17 people to show up every single day. Let's feed you some more people. And when people would show up to my live, now here's what I mean by trumping. We've reached a period that some people believe in him so much that no matter what he does, if you say something bad about him, they will jump out of he doesn't have to defend himself anymore.
No, yeah.
People will jump out of this. Okay, guess what happened to my 17 followers who were watching my live every day?
You've got loyal fans.
If you showed up and said something, I wouldn't have to say one word. My audience, if you come in my TikTok and say something, my audience will crush you.
Well, wow, that's
They'll
how much
destroy
the
you.
audience loves you too.
Yeah.
So wow, God, I feel like I know we're running low on time, but do you have any other questions that we wanted to knock out? Because I have some curveballs.
No, I want to hear these curveballs.
Well, like that alone, right? Like some people think they need 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, but you started with 17 loyal following.
17
And I always tell people, like, look, if you can get 20 people to pay you money and they love you, then you can monetize.
Yes.
You don't need 20,000. I asked one person the other day, what would you do with 1,000 leads right now? And she couldn't even respond.
No.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I think for people who are starting out, they're just like so caught up on views and a following and like, you know, how do I convert these views to money? And they don't realize that you don't need a lot of followers to make content and B to monetize.
I've had real estate videos get 3 million views and I didn't make a single dollar off of it. I've had videos get shared enough times that I got 8 leads off of one video. Anybody who's listening to me right now, please understand views don't matter the way you think they do. What matters is shares and bookmarks. If someone shares my video to somebody else, that's as good as a referral as you're ever going to get. Because you are personally telling someone you know and love, hey, watch this realtor. He's good at his job.
And how important is the retention time now? That's like all of it now.
For retention time, it's hard.
Really?
Even on my most popular food videos, people often drop off at about 10 to 12 seconds, right? That's why 15-second videos are so popular because you can get 100% retention or at least close to it. But you don't need, those retention stats are skewed. And I try to tell businesses all the time, if I have a video that went viral with 1 million people who viewed it, right? 800,000 of those people only care about the first 10 seconds. But that doesn't skew the fact that the other 200,000 might have watched the whole thing.
That's still 200,000.
1,000. If 10,000 people watch one of my videos all the way through, I don't care if my retention rate says 1%. If 10,000 people are willing to spend a minute straight with me when they could have scrolled and seen 10,000 other videos, I've got you. I've got a minute of me talking to you straight.
Okay, we have 5 minutes, and I have one last question, and maybe you have room for another one. But when you, I lost it. I already lost it. Brain fart.
We don't edit these, by the way.
Yeah.
He thinks I edited them? No.
No.
I'll leave them in there.
I already lost it.
Really?
I just
well,
lost
can I have
the
a question?
Yeah.
Can I lobby a question back at you guys?
Yes.
Right? So from our perspective, right? Because I'm the guy in front of the camera, and I've had to spend the past few years learning about you guys behind the camera. What makes you, as the people who control and edit the videos, what makes you stop on a video? What makes the people who make the videos stop?
For me, it's the content, because I'm so used to seeing edits that, like, it's kind of like QA testing video games. Like, it's ruined for you forever.
Yes.
Definitely Robert more so than me. Like, he can tell every edit of everything now. But for me, it's the content. Is it something interesting or is it something funny? For me, my TikTok feed is mostly just dumb shit.
Yeah.
Because I'm just finding an escape. But for me, though, I'm not really buying into the whole, because I understand how it works now. I understand retention. I understand a hook. I understand all of that. I'm just looking for content that I find interesting or that I enjoy, because I want to watch what I want to watch.
But like, so for me, if I'm scrolling through, right, what catches your eye in that first like 3 seconds? Is it a hook? Is it something on the screen? Is it the quality of the video? Are you guys looking for something that looks like maybe you edited it?
No. For me, it's a little different. Like, because I am an editor and I'm so cynical when it comes to editing, and I kind of see all the tricks. Now I stop on a guy wearing a gecko suit painted green.
Yes.
And he is literally a therapist.
Yep.
So that's what I stop on.
So it's the authenticity.
I'm just I'm down in this
I think,
dark.
I think I'd agree
My
with that.
threshold is weird, bro.
Because we can tell, like, our bullshit meter, not even just us, but like people in general now, is much better.
Yeah.
We can tell, like, you can tell, anybody in this room can tell, like, this guy's not authentic. This guy's not being genuine.
Okay.
Yeah.
The reason I asked you guys, because I'm
Do you like that answer?
I do, because I think you guys are more normal than people realize. I think TikTok took the social media game and condensed it so fast that we've gone through decades of social media training in 1 to 2 years.
I saw a video. The weirdest place on earth is TikTok Live.
It is.
It
oh
is
my God.
so weird.
Have you ever just scrolled through TikTok Live?
Yes,
Yes.
I get all the people in Syria going, please, 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 please.
If
please,
aliens
please, please.
landed, and they'll be like, "What? What is? Can you describe the humanity?" In
Just watch this
in
for a
1
few hours.
second?
Just
Yep,
scroll.
I would literally pull up TikTok Live and
Yeah.
go, "This is what we've become."
Dude, you could scroll through 5 TikToks lives and you could see Snoop Dogg playing Fortnite, an 18-year-old girl with half her clothes on promoting her OnlyFans, and then the next video, it's like a 57-year-old grandma listening to rap music. And you're
Or like a shop in Asia where they're making shoes.
Where they're
I'm like, what is going on right now? They literally have a live streaming making
My
shoes.
favorite
This
ones-
is so weird.
My favorite ones are like the ones where you're like, and that's somebody asleep, and that's somebody sleeping, or that's somebody.
yeah, you pay me money to wake me up. or
Yeah,
some shit.
yeah.
I do love the games too. They have like interactive,
Like the
games.
tug of war.
Yes.
tug of
But
war
it's
games.
always ends up being a Joe Biden, Donald Trump. Like, come on,
Always.
we want to know Joe
Always.
Biden's better. Come on,
Always.
come on.
If you want to make money on TikTok Live,
Just be divisive like that.
Just be divisive.
Oh
dude.
man. Well, Brandon, it's 3:20. I know you gotta go.
I have one last. We asked this of almost every guest we have.
Okay.
We like to give an actionable to the audience. What is something you would tell somebody right now if they want to take action on everything we've talked about today? What is one thing you would tell them?
Just get started. Stop being so concerned with how perfect the video is. In fact, the worse your video is, the more chance it has of going viral because it feels authentic. Stop holding back. Just do it. Just do it. Whatever's in your head that's keeping you from posting, whatever insecurity it is, just let it go. I look stupid. We all look stupid. That's the whole point of this whole thing is we're all just being stupid together.
I don't know a better way to wrap that up. Thank you so much to everybody watching. Thank you again to Brandon for coming on. And until the next time, everybody, see you then.